Hello and welcome back to the Oceanic Challenger Series 2019. I'm Bryce Egan Paul. This is Vandy. That was a spicy game. Do you reckon we can top it?
I think so. I mean, look, the night is young. We have to wait and see.
That's some optimism. That was a spicy one.
It was a spicy one, but it was also a strange one. It felt just like a slow strangle, like from Gravitas. So they just had the game in their grasp.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. But we are heading into I'm completely blanking. It's
Chiefs versus Avant.
Yes, versus AV Academy. And interesting to note, yes, AVA. They've actually switched out their jungler. I feel like Chiefs have had a lot of success with Alani. But actually bringing in Mincam. So pretty interesting. Alani did have a pretty rough performance last week. Picked up the Amumu.
Amumu. I was going to bring that up, and you beat me to it. He tried something a bit different, and he got punished.
Yeah, did Amumu things, right? Like, he's just trying his best to live his happiest life and was pretty miserable.
He had a cute skin for it.
Yeah.
The happy birthday one.
Yeah, he had a little cupcake, or was the cupcake, I guess, and he was just devoured at the end of the day. But yeah, was looking for like engages, couldn't quite find him. But yeah, super interesting. I'm not sure of the decision, right? Like, we don't know behind the scenes for Chiefs. Was it like a form thing? Is it just he can't play this week?
Could be a substitute.
Could be a whatever. Not too sure, but before that game, like, it was weeks of Kindred, it was weeks of good performance, and I feel like Chiefs have relied fairly heavily on him in their success, so it's pretty interesting to see them switch it out.
Just checking on, the Kindred, the Eve, he had a really good week 1, week 2, then we saw the Amumu and we're like,
Yeah.
But like, we don't know, maybe they're trialing another jungler, as you said, in case substitutions happen. I am keen to see, though, if it's going to be more of the same. Like, is it still, like, the comps are based around the Kindred, the Eve, AoE, stunners.
Yeah.
Like, maybe Jarvan could fill the void that Amumu was going to bring.
Yeah, not too sure. Not too sure what Mincam's going to bring to the table. On the other side of the coin, AVA coming off another victory again last week. It was a pretty interesting one. Super back and forth game, and I feel like Zippo and Styled coming in were really like the two big players for me. It was the LeBlanc, and I believe it was the Kai'Sa. Yeah, he was like the Kai'Sa was dishing out so much damage, but Zippo was like the underrated hero. Constantly like getting so much chunk damage, just like one hitting people left and right, and was like the Kai'Sa versus the Sylas. But then Kai'Sa has a LeBlanc
to help.
And it's just like, it ends up being a little rough. Yeah, and super back and forth, but looking to be some success there.
This is going to be another interesting game. I mean, you said last game, it was spicy. I definitely don't doubt that, but it's more just as you said. We've seen good performances from both of these teams. They've had solid performances. And the score is about the same in terms of, let me have a look. So AVA is on 1 win, 2 losses. Chiefs on the 2-1. It's still anyone's game.
Yeah, certainly the case. Like, we're still in early season.
In terms of power, like, they're relatively similar.
Yeah, like 1 game difference. Like, strength of schedule in BO1s means a fair amount, right? Like, looking at the opponents they've faced, whether or not it's like they're fighting up, they're fighting down, different things like that is kind of interesting on the Chiefs side. I'm interested to see what they pull out. They have a bunch of players that I think Nordic has had a reasonable season so far. Beats had like that Morgana game I was very impressed with, but Theon, a guy with a single game of OPL experience, was actually Chiefs in-house sub for the OPL team last split, so has had a lot of like the competitive professional play experience, at least in the gaming house.
It shows in terms of just how reserved he is in laning on top. Like, I just saw he seems so disciplined.
Yeah, it's sort of like he had an Akali game, which I feel like is probably his worst, to call that one out, right? Like,
Speaking of Akali,
a little bit weird, but certainly has tried that one around. But he's playing the stuff like the Akali, like the Riven, interesting stuff.
Speaking of top lane and that Akali, I mean, from AVA, literally the whole, the bans, it just shows to me that it's getting rid of all those flex champions that we see. Jace, Akali, Ryze. Also, then we see from Chiefs, we've got the Zoe, the LeBlanc, big talking point, was the real hero of last week, and then also the Nautilus. We haven't actually seen Nautilus ban until now.
Yeah.
And nor has he been picked just yet. Everyone's really opting in if you're going to let them support through. We've got the Morgana.
Yeah.
But the responses to the Morgana has been interesting.
Yeah, we were only 2 games deep of the day. Last week there was a lot of Nautilus. There was a lot of Galio, Kai'Sa, stuff like that. So
Galio being picked up.
Yeah. Chiefs going to go for the classic Jarvan Galio composition. First rotation. Not much you can do about it. They just hit their buttons and they can engage from 7 million miles away. So certainly starting off their comp with a little bit of a bang.
Sylas' priority has been high tonight as well, if it's not the Morgana. I really think that that's also been inspired a little bit from MSI. Once you start to see that he's just got so many different open pathways. And I mean, his laning is fairly safe. He has a sustain. He just seems to have really come into his own. Morgana and Kai'Sa, that's a very safe lane. But the Riven, this feels like a bit of a talking point.
Yeah, Theon's actually picked this one up before. Played it last week, I believe, and Chiefs, unfortunately didn't win that game. So Morgana, Kai'Sa's going to be the round out, and he's going to get another crack at it here. But this is just a bunch of go buttons, right? Like Jarvan, Galio, they go in, they have the Riven over the top. This is looking like one of those compositions where you just want to start the fight and have everybody coming from everywhere. It's a flank from Riven, it's the engage from them, and then you have like the safety on the other side. Morgana's going to try to keep someone alive. We didn't see that on the ban list, so it makes a lot of sense that they picked that one up.
Yep. Following on for the next lot of bans, we do have Aurelia and Vayne taken off, so targeting a little bit of that bot lane. You do have the Kai'Sa. We're going to then take away your ability to farm in safety, but I was going to say Ezreal should feel like the pickup over here versus that Kai'Sa.
Yeah, Ezreal Galio is certainly potent there. Galio can go away, do Galio things elsewhere, and Ezreal will be completely fine. That would be a very standard lock-in here for the top side of Tekka if they do want to go for that one, and yeah, that's going to be an Ornn.
I like it. You're just like, that's going to be an Ornn.
That's an Ornn.
That's all you really get to say about him. Yeah.
Yeah. Build some items. Gets to build some cloth armors when you're laning against a Riven. Probably one of the better tanks at dealing with it. So
pull out some Rams.
Makes a lot of sense.
And the Skarner being hovered over here. We saw Skarner earlier tonight, and it was great for just baiting on outs and ultis, but changing it up at the last minute. So trading away for the Lee Sin. Very, very safe.
Yeah, I like this play. A lot more agency pre-level 6. You don't have to wait for the ulti. You can get things done early. You have CC set up from the Morgana, from the Sylas, a little bit from the Ornn, maybe a little bit less reliable there onto the Riven, but Faulkner has played some of this stuff. He's played the Lee Sin, played the Nocturne, and wants to get into the action early, so it makes sense that they do go for the Lee Sin. Also,
the Orianna being picked up, so Beats... Was he playing the Orianna last week, or was it... Let me see.
Not sure.
I'll have a quick peek.
I believe.
No, he was playing the Aurelia last week. Actually, this is going to be his debut on Orianna. Yeah. We have actually seen Orianna. I mean, she's always been kind of that power pick in terms of the team fights. But Orianna, Jarvan, that synergy. You also have the Galio to help lock people up in place. So much wombo.
We've seen like the Dire Cubs game, and I'm talking about like, is this going to be the 1-through-1? Do they want to split the map? Legacy just then, they're playing like the Zed and wanting to play both side lanes. This is just 10 champions that just want to be on the same screen and they want to fight. We've got the Jarvan, Galio, the Orianna. They just have like mega ulti laying over the top. And then it's going to be starting off with like a Lee Sin, Sylas going in, the Ram coming over. So I feel like this is really going to be a clash of the same style here that AV and Chiefs have drafted themselves into. So
very, very aggressive on the side. I mean, I really do like Chiefs draft just that much more. I can really just see it being executed a lot easier. Not to say that Avant Academy didn't get what they wanted to. It's just that I feel like the burden of execution is really on them.
Oh, 100%. I talk about ease of execution a lot. When you get to competitive games and the pressure is on, if you have an easy thing to play, then you have a higher chance to win. And
I would have thought.
Yeah,
it's just less error for those mistakes coming on through.
It's kind of like a lesson for solo queue. You can't talk to your teammates, and even if you do, they won't listen to you. So if you can just pick the easiest stuff possible, you play an Alistar, you play an Ornn, you just, like, your team doesn't play Yasuo and Yi and Vayne. They just play...
and click.
Yep, easy stuff, then you'll have a lot of success. That's why people tell you to play Annie in low elo. But...
the oldest meme in the book. Ugh.
Yeah. Annie's so boring, though.
Do you like her as support?
I actually, when she was good, she was my favorite champion. Back when it was the Lust Boy build, when you used to go, like, coin into Shirelias before we had the...
That was your time?
Yeah, like, what is it called? Like, the upgrade to Sightstone, when, like, the support item was a functionally different item built into Shirelia's glory.
I don't think I was playing back then, unfortunately.
You were just zooming around the map with Moby's double speed boost and just tibbizing people in the head.
Gross. You're just reminding me of Predator Annie now.
That was the greatest time. Oh, I never played Predator Annie.
You should. That's actually...
I wasn't that disgusting.
It's a lot of fun if you just need to let some steam off.
Yeah, Annie was so fun when she was abusive.
Yikes.
Because you could just right-click people in lane from like 700 range away.
It was very oppressive.
Yeah, you couldn't do anything.
You couldn't do anything. It was very irritating.
Like it was like a Leona Annie Thresh meta, and your auto attack outranged Leona's E. So it was just like she couldn't do anything. You just right-click her in the head, and as long as you have better ping than the Leona player, then you win.
Faulkner starting the blue as well, taking that one with ease. And Min actually opting for the red. Actually skipping the chickens. Looks like he might be heading straight for his blue.
Yeah, can do some interesting stuff on the Jarvan here. Like, if you're not spotted, you don't do standard paths, then you can go for level 2 ganks. Of course, doesn't have the best setup with an Orianna in a Riven early.
Something a bit different.
Yeah, it's going buff to buff here, and probably will look to contest bottom side. Chiefs, or AV rather, have actually warded at the bottom lane, so... If Mincam wants to go for any sort of gank early with like a W flash from Nausicaa, then we'll have to wait a little bit before he is spotted out by that vision.
The end last week on that Riven, it's all coming back to me now. I remember he had actually a pretty good laning phase. And then it all just kind of fell apart because he was just getting literally just zoned out of the fights. But Riven as well, I mean, she did get those changes where her Q now, it actually dishes a little bit more. What is that, cooldown?
Yeah, like the Q is on a
or
easy
was it also
cooldown now,
damage?
and her E was on a longer cooldown.
I know
so
E's on a longer cooldown.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the damage. I'm not sure about the specifics, but no, I think the cooldown went from a flat to a scaling down.
Yeah.
So like as the game goes on, your
just to give
Q
you a bit
is-
more counterplay versus her in lane.
Yeah, because E is like the really annoying thing. You look at Riven and it's like she
So much to say.
built 7 long swords, but then anytime you try to dish out any damage,
E.
then
Shield.
hits you with the E and has a fat shield that scales with AD, which feels very...
It's gross to play against. It's
Very
frustrating. So they're trying to mitigate a bit of that. In terms of, I guess, Ornn just really needing to just farm. Name the game. You don't really have to try and trade. You will lose that trade. The end will make sure of that.
Yeah, one of the best tanks at dealing with early pressure, just because he can trade back better than any and doesn't need to actually reset, can just build some items, build some armor, and kind of weather the storm just that little bit better. The fact that Lee Sin went bottom side, and I believe was actually spotted out on some vision there, means that Tekka just has to play as safe as possible. He knows that Min Cam, the Jarvan,
Min
can be up
invading
there.
actually
And
with the N as well.
yeah.
Just giving himself some safety as he starts to invade a little bit now of Falconer's jungle.
So just a bunch of standard stuff. Junglers haven't met just yet, so just trading back and forth. The bottom lane is the interesting one, I think, because especially given that both AD carries took the TP, we aren't going to see any heals here or there, but Galio Morgana is a matchup where the census is kind of open. Some people prefer the Morgana into the Galio, meaning that you can hold the black shield, and if you play the wait game and you don't immediately shit your pants and then blow your E when he hits you in the face with the Q and doesn't break it, then he can't go onto you, he can't go onto your AD carry. The onus is really on Real Opal to be separated from the Kai'Sa so that Galio can't start channeling Taunt and hit both.
Tekka tries to go in for the Warden. Min Cam, he was waiting for it. The flash means that Tekka doesn't get the knockback, but at the end, he does dish a nice bit of damage onto Tekka.
And I'm going to have to call him out, Tekka. If you go to twitter.com/egymlol, there's a video there, and it'll teach you to actually ward over that wall. So, doesn't have to walk around the corner. He doesn't have to step up to the river to ward that one. Can just place it on, I think it's the second leaf on one of those trees. It's impossible for me to describe for you at home, but
you should actually make a video on it.
yeah,
that's very informative. I like that.
It's genuinely a video, and it's just a bit of a disgusting self-plug there, shill. But look, if you're a professional player, if you want to play competitive League of Legends,
do not subscribe, and whatever else they say. Comment.
Yeah, smash that like button, guys.
Don't do that.
Hit that subscribe. Hit the notification bell on youtube.com/OceanicProLeague. Watch all the VODs. But, yeah. Interesting one. Gank's got to be in the mid lane. Falconer looking for something.
Falconer hovering. Zipper actually goes on in, trying to lay down a little bit of CC onto Beats, but he's so close to his turret.
Oh, actually not able to connect the Q there is Falconer, so no real damage is actually burnt out. That was a bit of a heal there from Beats. Actually, no, it was just the Time Walk Tonic. Has gone for the Spellbook, so has TP, is able to opt in for a cleanse, for an ignite, for an exhaust, anything like that.
So re-engaging again, try and trade with Beats. Same old.
Has the backup from his teammates there, the Morgana, after the reset in the river, as is the Lee Sin. They don't spot out that pink ward, but certainly gives him the confidence to look for it. Oh, this is risky. 3
members now. Chiefs coming to investigate. They spot Falconer on it. Minham actually dishing out some damage. The flag and drag connects onto Falconer, forcing the flash. He gets the first blood. Now Reelaby has to flash as well. Good, clean fight.
Yeah, barely don't get the second kill there, but Falconer just opts in for the Baron, or for the Dragon rather. He walks over a pink ward, and Chiefs know exactly what's going on. He's stuck in the pit. No ability to W, no ability to get out, but this could be round number 2. Zipper steals the ulti.
He's got Min's ulti.
Flash.
Perhaps trying to lock him all in and go for a
TP
steal.
From Riven.
Dragon has reset as well. The N has come on across. Knows that Morgana does not have a flash. Easy kill.
Yeah, that was the easiest kill of all time. Real Opal just immediately dies. TNTP secures the Infernal Drake, and this is a comp that can certainly use it. Jarvan, Riven, Ezreal, Orianna, all going to benefit a great deal from this one. So AV kind of prompting their own demise here a little bit too early on the Dragon call and get mega punished.
It, having to be forced now to give up the Dragon but also reset their lanes. A couple of kills as well means that they can start to build up a lead for themselves. But it's business as usual. Ornn has actually pushed up to the turret while Thien used the teleport. I mean, that's standard.
And I do want to highlight something that Nausicaa just did. It looks really whack given you have global perspective and you have everyone's vision. But just standing towards the back of the pit, start channeling your taunt. Like, they don't have vision over the wall. There could be, in some random universe, Falconer could go for the steal. It could be like a binding, could be a Kai'Sa or anything. And he's just going to go for the recall anyway, so it costs him absolutely nothing to start channeling that taunt and just kind of dissuading the possibility. If anyone goes for a random steal, it probably won't work anyway. He's just kind of cutting off the loose ends there, and honestly, I like seeing that sort of stuff.
Being like the living ward.
Yeah, it's not a big play. More often than not, it does literally nothing, but there is no reason not to do it, and he's just kind of, yeah, as I said, cutting off a loose end that could potentially be a stolen dragon.
Well spotted. Yep. It's always good to have that contingency policy, and I think that also just shows the respect coming out as well from Chiefs.
Yep, certainly is the case. The recipient of the kill was the Ezreal, so gets the optimum buy here. Gets the Tear, gets the Sheen, and actually gets the cloth for his Frozen Fist.
That's a level up in anyone's eyes. So Space would be very, very happy with that. And it's just going to be poke city down in this bot lane.
Certainly is the case. Hard for Nausicaa to be able to engage on this one. As I mentioned earlier, Relopal really has the control with his Black Shield.
Oh, Ezreal actually managed to blink on in.
They broke the shield.
Relop knows that. Starve going on in. Very low on that mana. The Ignite is ticking.
Ooh.
It does get the kill. Starve also so low. They do trade. It's just a battle of the supports now.
And no heals available, just the TP, so both AD carries die. Support just able to farm this one up, and the wave is fairly even, so an interesting 2v2 back and forth. Start still has his summoner available, so he's going to TP back to the play, get access to the wave first, but straight up a 1-for-1. Spacer looking for the play, but Relopal hits him in the face with the binding, and he falls down.
I mean, it was like a knee-jerk reaction. It's like, okay, well, I better try and commit my damage. Just not the optimal place to be.
Yeah, Tekka has absolutely no idea that the Jarvan is in this bush. I expect as soon as he walks up to the wave...
Wondering where his lane partner is. Flag and drag. Now Thien's going to follow on up. They do manage to use the Cataclysm. Flash was up. However, enough damage means that they can walk away with the kill very easily.
Yeah, very well set up play there from Chiefs. Mincam sneaks into the bush. Thien gets on the flank, and they burn the flash, they get the kill as well, and no TP available means that he's going to lose plates on top of that. Riven now sitting 2-0 OCS lead, plus the gold he's going to get from the plates. Feels very good for a top laner.
Falkner also trying to see what he can do in the bot lane. Does immediately spot the ward. They have vision now, know that he's there. Immediately retreating to their turret.
They do just back away. Cheeky last minute ward to spot them on the rotation. Means that Beats kind of has to play with a little bit more safety. Spellwalked into the barrier here, so has another defensive summoner, but certainly a rough case when you're fighting 1v2. Doesn't want to opt in for anything. I like Sylas being able to steal Orianna ulti. I like when that matchup's in the game. Seeing Sylas just like E onto a backline and then flash sombreroing himself onto an AD carry is possibly one of the best uses of his ulti.
It's pretty gross. You need to respect it.
Yeah. Also, like, the scaling is just incredibly good.
My favorite Sylas is the Ahri matchup. You just see them just flying around everywhere.
Ahri already has too many dashes, so when Ahri's a good champion and actually exists in League of Legends, I'm like, it's just not fair. And then, like, Sylas takes it an extra step because he has another 2 dashes on top of that. That's, I don't think I've ever seen it.
Really?
But it sounds
fun.
Like something I don't want to see.
You're like, this is the stuff of nightmares. Nausicaa actually needing to back away from that, otherwise members of AVA would have collapsed. Securing that scuttler for themselves, getting the vision.
Both junglers had smite there, so Falkner had the chance to pick that one up. Clarity is going to be popped here as he's walking back to lane.
Oh, barely dodges that binding over there from Nausicaa. Not even phased. Back to the lane now.
Certainly is the case. And I feel like Chiefs just kind of want to dissuade anything happening on the bottom side. We mentioned it in Champ Select. The Galio kind of wants to leave. It wants to open up the map, start looking elsewhere. And this middle matchup is just going very fine. Straight up 95 to 95, and Beats is just farming up as much as possible. And this just steadies the map for the top side. Thien already working on his first item. Probably going to go back and finish his cleaver
yeah, just as he
does.
said it.
So he's now going to become a monster in this top side. Tekka going to struggle to deal with him now that he has the armor shred. And if Mincam's bottom side is stable, he can just continue to put resources. Top side, blow open the map, and that is really their option here.
Again, spotting from Kai'Sa. It's going to be the Manamune coming out. I always say it funny, I found. Do you say Manamune or Manamune?
I don't know how you're meant to say it, but I definitely say Manamune.
I always say it very fancy for no reason.
Do you say mana or mana?
Mana, I think? Yeah,
okay.
mana.
Do you say dance or dance?
Dance.
Okay, good.
Shall we dance? Shall we dance? It sounds so pompous.
It's way too fancy for League of Legends.
Yeah, it really is.
As, yeah, it is going to be the Infernal Drake spawning, so a little bit of a dance around for this one.
Trading the vision as well. but both teams very, very hungry for this. It's going to be AVA first onto the Infernal.
TP's coming through.
This is a good opportunity because the binding is down. Tekka actually is getting focused. The knock-up is good. The Cataclysm comes out. It's going to be Min first off all. Nausicaa very, very low as well. Ram coming on out, knocking up one member, knocking up two members. Beats in the backline. Shockwave flash. It does connect, but it's not going to be enough. One more auto attack onto Style will seal the deal. Now Beats, he's got nothing left. Trying to help on out. The end gets the kill.
And
right
Chiefs
down to Morgana.
Barely able to turn that one around. The TP a little bit too late, and Real Opal does a great job at buying time for the Riven. No flash there available for Thien, so he couldn't get to the fight early enough, and the rest of his team just got immediately wiped on the forefront. Jarvan, is he going to face check Silas? He's going to spot him, but can't quite cancel the reset, so... All in all, Chiefs TP to the play, given that AV set this one up, and it may just be round number 2 of Infernal going their way.
Beats really styled that. He knew that he did not really have the opportunity to get the Shockwave in the way he wanted. Actually, flash Shockwave himself, almost the play that you said Silas was going to do. I liked that. And then Thien managed to help when he had no more cooldowns available, bailing him out. That was good teamwork.
Because that was the play. You can see what both teams are thinking. AV are like, look, we can't pressure our top side, so there's no point me going top if I'm the Ornn. I'm just going to walk straight to Dragon, and we're going to force this fight, and that looked good. You have the AoE CC, you have Kick, you have Ornn Horn, you have Morgana, you have all of these tools, and it was working out initially. Thien couldn't make it to the play. It was a 4 versus 5, and the carries just got one hit, but...
Here's that consolation prize, the Rift Herald. Nausicaa sees in the fog of war. He'd know that they're on it, just trying to get the vision to see. Finally now Minham has come across. Smite is available, but he's not going to commit to that one. Let him have their consolation prize. Not worth dying over.
Too many people around the pit. He potentially could go for the blast plane over the wall, EQ backwards with the Smite, but very unlikely to be able to pick that one up. Riven in the bot side without TP means that they would always have numbers disadvantage given the play, so... Happy to concede this one. They got a double Infernal in their back pocket.
So
Rift Herald probably not going to be the biggest problem.
Double Infernal already. Just hear that. None of this Cloud Drake. None of this Ocean Drake.
Yeah, double
That's
Infernal
the start that you want.
With a Riven comp. That's some RNG. That's some very nice RNG.
With a 3-0 Riven.
Yeah.
Oof. Scary days if you're on the side of Avan Academy, but it's not all said and done. As you said, the team fight very, very strong still, but the burden of execution. That's really where it all comes down.
If they land and engage, like there's 3 one-shottable carries in the lineup of Chiefs, right? Like as far ahead as Riven gets, you can always just hit her in the face with a binding, and if she doesn't have QSS, if like she can't be saved by a frontline Jarvan Galio combo going over the top, then he just dies immediately. So there's always going to be that option here for AV. They have the Silas, they have the Morg, they have the Ornn, they have Lee Sin. So many abilities to start this one up if they find an opportunity, but given the lead that Chiefs are accruing for themselves, finding those opportunities are far and wide. He might be one, though.
Beats. He's going to be in a bit of trouble. Falconer doesn't have enough damage. Dies under the turret. Disastrous.
And the worst part of that play is he's also got Rift Herald, so he can't more jump out.
Across onto him, but Nausicaa is there with the taunt. That's a double kill now from Beats. They're still going. Tekka, he needs to flash, but the Ed is there, ready to receive him. Triple kill now goes on over to the Orianna. How could a dive go so poorly?
Disastrous timing there from AV. They have the Rift Herald, but they lose 3 off the back end. The mid turret's going to be the consolation here for Chiefs. They get 3 kills, plus that one. They catch the sidewaves as well, kind of walking away with everything here. And Beats from a super standard laning phase, nothing really happening in the 1v1. Finishes his first items, and now 4-0-1 on the Orianna. This is a complete blowing open of the map.
You hate to see it.
You do.
You really do.
I have to focus in on Falconer there. Like, the worst part is he's going for the play, and then probably had that moment of realization
he's like,
where he cannot ward jump away. Because he's got the Rift Herald. He doesn't want to drop that one.
Yep.
And he's like, way too deep under the turret.
It just, I do feel for him because it's just almost, you know those reflexes? You see the players, Lee Sin, you're not even thinking about the Rift Herald.
I was watching, it was just like a random clip, I think of Ambition, just like streaming. And he does Rift Herald and then immediately gets in a fight and then tries to ward hop on Lee Sin and just flops the Rift Herald down.
Oh no.
Just gets spam pinged by everyone. It's one of those moments that is super disastrous.
It's like me when I'm trying to reorganize my inventory and you accidentally press the hourglass and you're like, I hope no one saw that.
Yeah, that's a train wreck. That feels bad.
It's one of those at MSI, and you're just like, you got to feel for it as well. On the main stage, everyone's saying, you just know that everyone's going to try and troll you with that one. All right, this time now, Zippo's working with the Cataclysm, stolen now from Min.
Yeah, keeps taking that one. Makes a lot of sense. If he's going to be diving the back line, the ability to lock them in and continue hitting with the AoE makes your job significantly easier.
Belt is also finished.
Yeah.
He's starting to actually, come online, dish out his damage, but really lacking. Like, you've mid lane, the difference now, that Orianna from getting those kills, that's scary.
Oh, actually a dive.
Thien actually wanted to dive, yeah, absolutely. Ram being called out, trying to dissuade him. Thien still has the ultimate up. The teleport comes across from Styled as well.
And that's just a sad time for Style. TP's to the play, does dissuade the dive, but immediately has to walk away. Mid turret isn't there for Chiefs to take down, as technically got a Rift Herald taken on the top side. So the rotation very quick here from the red side of the map.
Sending Shelly top. Minham is
Ghost?
absolutely there. Beats is keen for it.
It's just a spellbook Ghost. Doesn't actually have the summoner, so doesn't lose a whole lot, but they do deny the Rift Herald. They get themselves access to the bot turret as well. You can see the side lanes you're mentioning. It's like Silas versus the Orianna. There's not a lot of difference in the CS, but the item advantage certainly there for Ori. Picks up a bunch of kills, but this Riven matchup, once he got the Black Cleaver, CS lead exploded into 50. Tekka has to call his teammates to TP to defend this turret, and this falling down is just an inevitability.
Yeah, and absolutely a monster on that Riven.
Fancy. Doesn't have ulti because he used it earlier.
Look at that. I love it. It's just like watching a little butterfly. Dip in, dip out.
Uses the shield, tanks up a single turret hit as it's continually whittling away at the Ornn.
Well, that's the trades that you normally see Ornn doing. In a top lane Cataclysm combo coming on out. Actually gets the kill onto Zippo. We missed the start of that one, but you can see, you can imagine how that one went.
Yeah, Silas must have gone in for the play. They turned around, didn't have vision of Mincam, and that is a disaster.
Also
this isn't
in their
engaged.
mid lane, Nausicaa forced to use the stopwatch.
Relopal?
Relopal is using the ultimate. Stark manages to get one. Spacer barely getting away when the W is up.
Just too long, so he won't go for the play. 1-for-1 is the trade. Supports both dies. The top turret does as well, but didn't see how that one started off, but very close. Relopal, unfortunately, flashes smack bang into melee range of the True Sop Barrage and gets immediately one hit.
As I was just saying, though, it's normally the Ornn that you see whittling away. Instead, you see Thien doing the same. That's just on Ornn as well, falling down.
Yeah, he killed him. That was off screen. He just... That's a turret. That's a kill.
3 fights all at once in different areas of map. It's a bloodbath.
They all just died.
Look at Chief's gold lead now.
Yeah. Significant out of almost nowhere. The double Infernals is a huge prize to get, but now 8,000 gold above their opponents. And yeah, it's just been a bunch of turrets, right? Like they win the fight, they push mid and catch the side waves. They take both side wave turrets, and now it's 3-0 plus all of the kills they have on both solo lanes. This is a big lead that's been slowly accruing as we're going to hit that 20-minute mark and Chiefs are going to come online.
Playing to their strengths as well, Chiefs. They had, like, it was a very clear draft. We knew exactly what they wanted to go for. The Jarvan, the Orianna. You have the Galio as well to help. So much Wombo, as I said. And then on Avant, you can see they're just really struggling to get the fights that they want, which is such a pity.
Yeah, it is. I agree. Losing is hard. Losing is the most difficult thing about League of Legends.
It's just how do you come back from it, really?
Yeah. The worst thing is, like, how do you come back from it when your comp does the same thing? Both of these teams, like, look at this map and it's like, we just want to fight. We want to 5v5, we want to get in there, use our ultis and look for the fight. And if your win condition is the same as your opponents and they get ahead, it is very difficult to play the game because they're good at the things you're good at and they also have an 8,000 gold lead.
And unchecked in that bot lane.
Yeah. This is a good try here from AV. They have to be pulling these kinds of things. They cannot match the Ornn into the Riven, but Chiefs...
Happy to sacrifice that one.
Nausicaa.
Goes the attention onto Nausicaa, gets the taunt,
Big
gets the shockwave,
Big
followed by the
Cataclysm.
Cataclysm. Zoning out all those members. The Ram is trying to come across, stopping them as much as they can. Nausicaa, he wants to go on in, but it doesn't matter because Thien is here with that teleport to clean on up.
And the biggest, best team fight from Chiefs. They land all of their ultis. Thien's looking for the cleanup of the back end. Protobelt buys himself a little bit of space, but 21 minutes. Baron is on the cards, and Chiefs get the ace.
They had to make a play. It just didn't work out the way they want. They're just too far, too behind. They had a small window. It just wasn't meant to be.
It wasn't
as soon as the end came, it was over.
It wasn't the right member. All they get is Nausicaa. He looks to face check and they're like, look, this is all we have. This is our one opportunity. We take the shot.
That's how desperate you are.
Yeah, barely lives off the back end. Didn't have flash to get himself out, but huge shockwave from Beats. Huge Cataclysm from Mincam on the Jarvan, and then Nausicaa comes back in for the round sweep. Thien arrives, and you can see that was very one-sided team fight. Gold lead is 12,000 here for Chiefs.
Reset with the Baron now from Chiefs. They bought now, lined their pockets. They have full Baron buff ready to go. They do have the double Infernal ready to go. For Avant, they haven't even managed to take a turret yet.
Yeah, no 2 items on any carry that has been upgraded. Silas working on his second. Ornn's working on his 1.5. He's got a bit of a KFC variety bucket there, but Manamune hasn't even been completed here from the Kai'Sa, so
just
needs
like that
some
off
time.
the screen, Bien gets another kill, this time onto Silas, onto Zippo.
Yep, and this is a monstrous Riven.
They can leave him unchecked. This is the Riven that you see in your nightmares.
He 1v2s. Like, Lee Sin can do nothing to deal with this side lane because the damage isn't there to take him down, and he will just one-hit anybody who walks to the lane, so...
Splitting mid and bot, just really dividing the attention now from Avan Academy. Asking him, which lane do you prefer? Because both are going to go if you don't choose one.
Yeah, they have to go soon if they're going to defend it. Looking to defend the 4 rather than the 1. Zippo's still dead for another 10 seconds as this inhib's getting chunked.
Inhib going on down. Rest of the members still very, very healthy. Thien already starting the assault on that bot lane. Rest of the members now grouping on over. Spacer manages to blink out of the binding.
Binding being down gives them so much freedom. Spacer is over the top. Thien is now able to just whack away at the inhib. That's going to be 2 falling down with the recall and the respawn there from Zippo. So all 5 members up available to defend, but still lose double inhibs.
Yep, 2 inhibitors now down. The base is looking very, very shoddy. And yet, Chiefs playing it slow, not trying to force the end.
Yeah, very hard to dive onto a Morgana with Zhonya's, onto an Ornn who has the ulti over the top.
They're respecting it still.
Yeah, onto the Nexus turrets. That's a fairly risky play. They do have a 15,000 gold lead, which is, I think, probably the biggest we've had in the OCS so far. This is a monumental performance from the Chiefs. Complete shutout so far this game. It would be a complete miracle for AV to be able to hold underneath their Nexus, but they're potentially looking for a pick. I like this play. Faulkner will spot 2, though.
Min chasing. Chooses to back away and not commit. Waiting to see the rest of the members now of Avan.
Would have been able to just safeguard to the Morgana, so even if Cataclysm came through, Faulkner could have got himself to safety, but I like that play. It's very hard to dive or to hold 5v5 underneath your turret. So if you can get a pick when Chiefs Academy are looking to set up, then AV can potentially buy some time, but...
Bien is untouchable now,
yeah,
it seems.
couldn't
Guardian
quite find
Angel
it.
online.
Stopwatch online.
So as you said, hard to dive, hard to end at the bottom. Here, finally, we're going to see the fight coming on out. Nausicaa, he's very, very close to the front. Forced to flash on out. Reap Opals is going to go in. Neither committing too hard at the moment.
Yeah, a bunch of buttons used there from AV for almost no effect. The redemption comes through to try and buy some time as Nausicaa just buys a lot of space for the rest of his team. Very well played there. And AV, that's multiple ultimates burned. The Morgana, the Ornn is down and not available as their 3rd inhib turret's going to fall down.
It's just going to be a nice slow victory, not rushing this one. They know exactly what their win condition is. Yes, a couple of ultimates were burned, but now the Nexus turrets are being threatened with supers in every lane. They do go on in. It's the end. Starting the charge. He has the Guardian Angel. Doesn't mind tanking it a little bit. The Cataclysm. Shockwave combo is good. And that's going to be the first kill on down. Minfall's tanking the turret.
What is going on?
And a bit of a brawl from Spacer on Faulkner. Rest of the members trying to clean on up. And the end actually gets his Guardian Angel procced.
Yeah, 4 members still alive, though. Onto the Nexus.
Bit of a slow ebb, focusing that Nexus down, looking to end. It's going to be a slow burn, but it's ultimately going to go on down to the Chiefs.
And yeah, as you mentioned, a little bit of a slow end as we get to the punch. Chiefs potentially playing with their food a little bit more than they should have, as that was a gold lead team fight.
Weird last fight again.
I mean, that was a game where you're like, yeah, we're on stream. We got 15,000 gold lead. There's no way they win this fight.
Chill.
Let's all just take our 1v1s all over the place. And yeah, with a gold lead like that, it's pretty easy to clean that one up. So Chiefs, very dominant victory.
So dominant. As you said, that 15k gold lead like that, they kept executing the combination that they needed to, the Shockwave Cataclysm time and time again.
Yeah, that beautiful. One team fight, like above mid lane, that was, Nausicaa getting caught, I guess, as the support Galio, but then, it's the Shockwave, it's the Jarvan, it's the Galio.
Caught, and they really regret that one. It was so unfortunate.
Yeah, single team fight completely blows that game open, but it really was from start to finish. A little bit of a shutout there. Unfortunately for AV, what they put together wasn't able to go up, and round 2 Riven game for Thien. Huge success.
It's surely going to be calling out bans now, target bans coming on out. He is a monster, or you need to be playing his direct counters. Ornn we thought was going to be safe enough. No.
Yeah.
Not even.
Yeah, that's one of those matchups where you're not trying to win the lane, you're trying to weather the storm, and unfortunately is not going to be the case there. So Chiefs pick up another victory in the OCS. That is completing 3 for 3 red side victories. But guys, don't go anywhere. After this 3-minute break, we'll be back.